And joining us now with more is Vatican correspondent at Global Catholic TV Network, Colm Flynn. So glad you're here with us tonight. And I understand you met the Pope 2 days before he went into the hospital. How is he then?
Yeah, Natasha, good night from Rome and good evening to you. It's true, the Pope went into hospital 10 days ago on the Friday, the 14th of February, but I actually had the opportunity, my wife and I, to meet Pope Francis at his Wednesday general audience 2 days later. And we had a moment, maybe 2 minutes or so, to talk to the Holy Father. And while he was in good spirits and in good form, you could tell, Natasha, that he was struggling to catch his breath, and it was difficult for him to breathe at times. In fact, his weekly catechist, which he normally reads, he handed it to a priest when he was up on the stage in front of the large crowd that was gathered. And he said, I'm not able to get through this and to read this, but this priest will do it on my behalf. He still maintained all of his appointments, the Vatican have told us, right up until Friday. In fact, he met the Prime Minister of Slovakia, he met one of the top cardinals of the Vatican, he met the CEO of CNN, and that afternoon we were told he went to hospital. His flu turned into bronchitis. On Monday, we were told that he had a slight fever, but he was stable. But then it got more serious when they said that he had developed pneumonia in both lungs. Now, as Mills pointed out there, Natasha, it is true that since his 20s, Pope Francis, his lungs have been compromised because he's had part of his right lung removed after he had pneumonia when he was living back in Buenos Aires, where he's from in Argentina. So when you add that, Natasha, with the fact that he's 88 years of age, with the fact that he's been using a wheelchair for the past couple of years and so has gained a bit of weight, things are looking very serious here in the Eternal City today.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I know that you said, you're receiving that information from the Vatican every single day, but you say it can be hard to tell just how serious things are. What is your sense of his condition tonight?
You know, it can be hard to say, Natasha, because the Vatican traditionally have played down these types of things because they don't want to cause alarm. The Pope has been hospitalized. I have to point this out. Back in 2023, he was hospitalized for bronchitis before. And at that time, there was alarm here in Rome. Could this be the end? Are we looking at the next conclave? He bounced back and has traveled the world since then, going to places like Mongolia, Papua New Guinea, fulfilling all of his duties. But this time there is a feeling that it's more serious because that press conference that they held yesterday at the Gemelli Hospital, that was the first time that his doctors, his own personal doctors, spoke to us journalists. But the tone, actually, Natasha, was quite light. They said he was critical, but now he's doing fine. In fact, they even joked. His doctor said that when he goes into his room in the morning and he says, "Good morning, Holy Father," the Pope responds, "Good morning, Holy Son." And there was laughter. And when one journalist said, if he goes back to the Vatican, and they said, no, we expect he will be going back. So what we're worried about here is when you contrast and compare the tone of that yesterday to the tone of this press release from the Vatican today, mentioning the word critical condition, prolonged asthmatic crisis, getting that blood transfusion, we think that things could be hanging in the balance.
Understood. With the time we have, I do want to ask you about reports that the Pope has been moving to protect his legacy in recent weeks. What can you tell us about his recent actions on key initiatives, his move to make appointments to key posts in recent days? What does this tell us?
Well, as they say, a legacy is in the eye of a beholder, and it's something that theologians and Catholics around the world will debate for many years to come. But he did publish his book earlier this year where he revealed many aspects of his pontificate that even we were surprised at. For example, that there was a suicide bomber and an attempt to kill him when he went to Iraq in 2021. A lot of new information has been coming out, and we were surprised that he was revealing this information at this time. He has elected more cardinals than many other popes in recent history. They will be the people who will vote for the next pope. And from that group of men, the next pope will come. So the thinking is that with Pope Francis having appointed and selected more than many others, they might be similar to him in their thinking, in their theology, and in their vision for the future of the church. But we have to stress the Pope, we are praying for his recovery. We are hoping that things get better. But at the moment, that's the latest from the Eternal City here in Rome.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.